If I had to start over as a physiotherapist who wanted to make multiple six figures per year, travel the world 2 to 3 times a year, and have the freedom to control my schedule and do what I wanted when I wanted, this is exactly what I would do. My name's Arv, and I was a burnt out physiotherapist and clinic owner working 12 to 14 hour clinic days, 6 days a week, and I was sacrificing every weekend away from my friends and family. And after I sold off my clinic, decided to go online to create content, I then grew to over 250,000 followers under the name Physio, and I made $276,000 within the first 6 months of going online. And since then, I've been able to help physios, chiros, and EPs like Yannick and Rory hit 10 to 15K a month online and be able to earn and work from anywhere, get the time back for things that matter most to them, which is family, holidays, and vacations, and be able to actually live a life of freedom. And in this video, I'm going to show you the one thing right now that's holding you back from achieving the same results yourself. Now, I want you to imagine for a second that you have a friend named Peter, and his whole life he's told himself that he's ugly. He's told his friends, he's told his family, and that's his internal belief of how he sees himself. And because of this belief, he doesn't really think that anything he does actually matters. So what this means is that he starts wearing worn out, torn, cheap clothing. He stops being consistent with his personal hygiene. He starts to isolate himself socially from meeting new people. He doesn't leave the house. He stays at home for the 90%, 95% of the year. And he would self-sabotage the interest that he got from girls, even if he thought the girls were pretty. Now, as you can imagine, Peter's life will naturally become miserable. It becomes his environment, it becomes his everything. His surroundings starts to take shape of how he sees himself and how he sees the world. And deep down, although Peter looks as he is, he actually wants to wear nice clothes and look amazing. He wants to be the best groomed and best smelling man in the room. He wants to be the most popular person in the room. He wants to actually be a social butterfly, be able to go out into the open and be able to not have any social anxiety and actually get along with people. And he wants to actually find a lifelong partner. He doesn't actually want to shoo away the girls that are showing him interest. He actually wants to lean in and create an actual relationship. But the thing is that he's limited by his identity. He's limited by the outlook that he has on himself, which he's been telling himself his whole life, that he's ugly. Now, the sad part was Peter wasn't even ugly. This was just him telling himself that he was. So the life that he created for himself wasn't the reality. It was purely because it was a reflection of what he saw himself as internally. So how does this story relate to you? Now, most of the physios that I speak to think that because they've studied for 5 years, they've poured in over $100,000 of student debt, that their whole life now is revolved around being a physio, doing things that only physios do, which typically means working in a hospital, working in a private practice, even if they don't enjoy the job, even if they want to get paid more, even if they want to do something else. I've had conversations with physios 20 years down the track who actually have hated their job because they're not getting paid what they're worth and they're not actually getting enough time to do the things they love, which is spending time with family and doing other passions. But it's this sunken cost fallacy that thinking because you've put in so much effort, you might as well just stay and see it to the end is why the reason so many physios get stuck. But what I want to show you today is that physio isn't your identity. It's just a part of your story. Because you are also an amazing communicator. You are also an amazing listener at helping people feel heard. You are also an amazing speaker that can help inspire others. Because by living life as a physio means the only option you're giving yourself is to burn out in the traditional physiotherapy model. Because 1 in 5 physios, this is purely off facts and statistics, 1 in 5 physios will burn out within the first 5 years. And if you don't want to be part of that statistic, you have to understand this main crucial concept. And that is you have to detach from the physio title, from the physio identity as fast as possible. Because as a physio, going online as a physio is almost impossible. The regulating bodies that were regulating my profession right here in Australia, I wasn't allowed any testimonials to share. I had to be legally compliant with everything that I did, with software, with calls. There was privacy and patient concerns, right? All of these things that you have to, tick off, check, double check, so many things, right? And the thing is, on top of this, because if you're trying to go online as a physiotherapist, as a physiotherapy service, it only limits you to one-to-one consultations because you're assessing and diagnosing patients one by one. When in reality, there's a better model out there, right? And this model, I started just realizing when I met a personal trainer that I was treating on a Saturday morning, right? As a clinic owner who was doing $300,000 a year. And he wasn't even qualified as a personal trainer, but yet he was doing $300,000 a year purely on TikTok, while I'm here with 5 years experience, 5 years of study, $100,000 of student debt, plus 10 years experience, not earning half as much as this guy is making and working twice, if not 3 times the hours. And that discrepancy made me really think of what is this? Why is this physio title restricting me so much? And the matter of fact is, it's because you're bound to these regulating bodies that are stopping your growth and limiting your growth. It's these bodies of APTA, Canadian Physiotherapy Association, Health and Care Profession Council, APRA, which is in Australia, right? It's these exact organizations, it's these exact, I don't even know what you want to call these, regulators, right? Who are holding you back. And it's this trying to have the sunken cost fallacy because I studied, because I'm 100K of student debt and XYZ, that I want to hold on to this physio title. I understand that, and I was there too for a very long time. But understand that physio isn't your identity. Physio is just part of your story. And this is exactly what my clients had to do to get to 10, 15, 20K months online, where they're able to have more free reign, more creative control of how they show up and help people. Because you have so much more skills and expertise than just being a physio. Like I mentioned before, you're a great communicator, great listener. Maybe you're amazing at things that you don't even realize. Right? There are so many skills that you can leverage, not just the physiotherapy title. Now, if you're asking, well, if I'm a physio, how do I go online without being a physio? Well, I paid a legal team $5,000. Now, this isn't legal advice whatsoever, but I'm just sharing with you that the advice that I got from paying a legal team for myself. Number one is that you aren't diagnosing online, right? You're not diagnosing any conditions, any injuries, XYZ, right? You aren't doing any diagnosis whatsoever online. Secondly, you're not positioning your online services as physio services. So you're not saying by joining my program, by joining my exercise program, my rehab program, you are getting physio services, right? I want you to think of yourself as a coach who just so happens to be a physio. Your main thing of going online is taking your expertise and skills, extract the physio title, extract the chiro title, extract the EP title, whatever title you have, extract that. The main premise of, can you help someone go from point A to point B? In your specific case, can you help someone go from pain to no pain? If the answer is yes, then you have an online coaching program. You have an online physio business that isn't necessarily a physio service, right? If that makes sense. So essentially what you're doing is so you can get out of these regulating bodies with all these red tape. You're not positioning online as a physio. You're not positioning your service as a physio service. And like I said before, you're simply a coach who just so happens to be physio, helping someone go from point A to point B. Again, this isn't legal advice, right? This is just me sharing my insights and information that I got from my legal team that I paid thousands of dollars for. And I wanted to share this with each and every one of you so you don't have to pay the $5,000. And when you are able to understand that the faster you can pull away from these titles, the things that actually hold you back is when you can actually start seeing what fruits and tall towers and amazing lives that you can build with the physiotherapy skills that you've developed, right? When I say skills, as in the skills you developed because you've been a physiotherapist. And to be fully transparent with you, I have some clients who are physios who have gone into the dating space, they've gone into the guitar space, they've gone into the productivity space, they've gone into the, I don't know if each and every one of you will know the terminology, but looks maxing. It's kind of like how to help people look better with, mainly men, right? It's kind of like more of a cosmetic, kind of like how to dress, fashion, XYZ. These physios that I've worked with have gone into different niches, right? Because these are their true passions, but this is also where the intersection lies of them wanting to help people, things that they're passionate about, and also leveraging what they're good at, leveraging at their communication skills, leveraging their ability to be, open and opinionated online, right? It's by finding these special things. And I get really into this because this is what will set each and every one of you apart. It's not the fact that you're a physio. It's these little things, the intersections of your passion, your curiosity, and things you're good at is what's gonna make you successful online, right? And just successful in general. So if you can lean into that for me after watching this video and just really detach yourself from the title, you will win. And for those of you who are new here, maybe you haven't yet, there's a free masterclass below that you can download. It's a 2-hour masterclass. I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I've had only nothing but amazing feedback. Give that a watch. It's gonna run you through exactly step by step how I help you go from 0 to 20 high paying clients purely online. And again, going in a way where you aren't positioning as a physio, but you're able to start an online business, online coaching business, selling exercise programs, rehab programs, digital products, whatever you wanna do with that. Everything's in here. So feel free to give that a download and watch below. Now, for those of you who would like my help to build your business from scratch and work one-to-one together, feel free to check out the monetized mentorship below. You'll have to apply. I don't work with everyone and anyone. We have to jump on a call. I want to see if we're a good fit, if we're a good vibe. If we are, then we dive in together for 6 months. I've got clients now that I still work with and it's 2-3 years later, but feel free to check that out below. So now that you know how to go online without being a physio, watch this video next so you can start your online business with just $9. See you in the next one.